Alrighty. I think everything's good. How you doing, Zach?
I'm doing very good. How are you?
I'm doing good. So, new show, Tavern Talk.
Yes.
It's much more of a casual show, less informative, mostly just relaxing, having a good time.
So I got some drinks.
Yeah, me too. I'm drinking... Oh, jeez, how do you even pronounce that? I'm drinking a strawberry beer today.
I got a blueberry one. It's from a local brewery in Kingsville.
Nice.
Grove.
I don't know where mine's brewed, but it's pretty good.
Yeah, it's pretty good too. Tastes pretty good.
Yep. So, this show would be a little bit... That's not what I wanted to do. That's what I wanted to do. Okay, we should be good now. Our cameras were a bit low, so the Discord green light was showing underneath the overlay, so I just moved up the cams. Okay. So, today we're going to be talking about other tabletop games that have the same... that can connect to D&D in some way.
Yeah.
Be it tabletop role-playing game, or something of the sort. I have just about every one of them that I own on the table next to me, so we can go through those. But first, Zach, so how are you joining the campaign so far?
For our D&D campaign?
Yeah, our D&D campaign.
I'm liking it so far. I think after every week of doing both like the episodes where we talk about the characters and then playing, I kept wanting to change who I was because I was that rogue. But I think overall, I think anybody would say that because every character is unique in their own way and it seems fun in their own way. You just gotta learn how to play each one. But I'm sure if I play a different, like a new nice run through, either with you or somebody else in the future, I'd definitely try somebody new and just to see how it changes how I enjoy the game.
Yeah, once you get into like character creation, which is a lot of fun for me.
Yeah.
Because the way I build characters is once I have like idea of who the character is, I build them from level 1 to level 20. So I have everything at every level already planned out before I even play the character.
Yeah.
And then as I'm playing them, depending on how the character will grow and adapt, those plans change, but it's a rough outline of what I want to do.
Yeah, at the start, to be honest, I wasn't really, like that excited to do D&D, I guess, to be honest. I never really played it before.
Yeah.
I'm not much to do like the tabletop role-playing games. Like I did pitch something else instead of... That's why I joined your group instead of doing what my idea was, which was a standard podcast, but...
There was a lot of those.
And actually, there was a lot, so like mine didn't get accepted, which is fine, but
I don't think
I'm happy I did end up joining your group.
I don't think
Actually, I don't think a single podcast got accepted,
yeah,
so...
No, it was... Yeah. There was 4 non-podcast ideas, and all of those got accepted. Everything else was a podcast that...
There's like 10 in total.
Yeah. But anyways, so for those of you who don't know, this is a school project, and we had to make a pitch for the show we wanted to do. So our pitch was a D&D show. Zach's and Evan's pitch was to do a podcast. I don't even remember what it was about.
We called it the Other Guys Podcast, and our logo was a cow. It would have been pretty good. We just talked about random things, but like sports, esports, the differences, stuff like that. But it got turned down. Maybe because we included sports into it. I'm not too sure.
Maybe.
But I think it would have been pretty fun. We had a good name going. Pretty laughable, pretty enjoyable name.
So our idea, D&D show, got accepted. We kind of knew it was going to get accepted ahead of time, just because how much like work we put into the pitch.
Yeah, my group put a bit less than you.
Yeah, but still, like, oh boy, some of those pitches, like there was actually a chance that you guys got picked.
There was.
After seeing some of those pitches, but anyways,
I'm happy that I ended up joining your group. I have a lot of fun doing these Fridays and Sundays.
like,
It's like a bonding thing as well, you know, like because normally, I guess us five would be hanging out at school and classes after class, going to like the gaming lab in school and stuff like that.
honestly,
But this is our way of hanging out in a way.
like, yes, us five were all friends before, but we never really hung out that much. Like, it was
Well, like, yeah, we were all busy. Like I'd be playing hockey.
well, no,
Andre
but
would-
still, like, it was since I knew Evan from before college, before this class. We played League together all the time. Just coincidence, we both joined the program. But other than that, I knew none of you guys before joining the program. And as far as hanging out would be, it was either me and you in the gaming lab or the nest for the varsity stuff. And then me and Andre, we would just chill in the classroom and play Pokemon. Till like we got kicked out.
We all had different things that brought us together.
Yeah. And then me and Socks joined a few of my West March games that I ran. So like, but other than that, we never really all hung out together. The most it would be is the guys in the group.
Yeah.
That's just we all play League together.
Bonding.
Yeah.
But like this is a good way to hang out once or twice a week and talk and even see each other because we have our webcams. But we never really got a chance to see each other once COVID hit because all the regulations and the restrictions.
Mm-hmm. Well, honestly, like I find D&D does that a lot with people. Like my IRO group on Wednesday nights that I used to play with, but obviously can't anymore. We played at a hobby shop in town.
Yeah.
And from that group, that spawned my Monday game. A bunch of us, we got into Warhammer together.
Well, that's the thing though. Like you used to do those in person. Like somebody could go play Warhammer in person all together. But now, COVID, there has to be a way you can do it all online. Which
Warhammer you can't.
Thank God for. I don't really never really tried Warhammer, so I don't really know. But like D&D in general, like thank God you can do it online because a lot of people that's a really big thing for their hobbies and their life that they enjoy doing with their friends. And then we had that. I forgot what the app was called. We used to do it together online.
We use Owlbear Rodeo.
Yeah.
But there's
so,
Roll20's the big one.
I don't know. I see those ads all the time. But like for those companies that do that, that's huge for I'll call it COVID gaming, where you can't really be with them in person and do those role-playing games together.
Well,
you can actually do it online in a way, and it'd be still fun, enjoyable.
There's plenty of apps like Roll20.
Oh, definitely.
Owlbear Rodeo, Tabletop Simulator, which I've done before, and it's a nightmare.
Oh, really?
Because think of it as you're running like a game in person. You have all the stuff set up, except you don't have the dexterity to actually handle the stuff.
Oh.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool.
But there's stuff like Fantasy Grounds, which is paid, but it's really high quality.
Mm-hmm.
But there's also other games that sort of fall in the line of like tabletop role-playing games. There's stuff like Pathfinder. There's previous editions of D&D, because this is D&D 5e. There's first edition was, I think, just original Dungeons and Dragons, I think it's called now. There's Advanced, which is second. There's 3 and 3.5. Then we don't talk about...
so 5e is the edition.
Yeah. We don't talk about 4th edition, because...
No? Is it bad?
It's... Okay, if you like 4th edition, you like 4th edition. If you don't... If you're not one of those people, you hate 4th edition.
I believe it.
I played... Honestly, I played into a 4th edition campaign, It sucked. Mind you, like the experience was just bad in general, and that didn't have to do with the edition. But 5e, it's great, easy to get into as far as D&D is concerned. It has
Warhammer. Oh, you keep going.
There's a bunch of. It's deep enough where you can literally just play this one role-playing game, and you'll always have
5e?
content. 5e, yeah.
Yeah.
Like
4e not good, 5e good.
3.5 and 5e were the best ones. I haven't played any 3.5.
There's a 3.5. Why is there a half edition? What?
It's basically just like I don't know, because it came out before I was born.
It's this old?
Dude. Okay. Let me look up when. Okay. D&D.
When was D&D released?
Dates.
1974.
1974.
4e was 2008.
Yeah. When was 3.5?
2003 was 3.5.
So I was
third
born
version was in 2000.
Yeah, so I was born then, but
You're too young, man.
And then
you didn't even know board games existed.
Well, I mean, I did. I was 8.
You might have, yeah. True.
But anyways, there's plenty of other role-playing games.
I noticed here that Call of Cthulhu.
Call of Cthulhu is one I really want to get my hands on.
They're on 7e right now, which is the 7th edition. It was first published in 1981.
Yep. It's based off the Lovecraftian lore and mythos, which I have 3 books of all those. But there's plenty of other games, settings that people play in. Like, hang on. I have the Warhammer Fantasy Roleplay Starter Set, which I have yet to play.
That is the 4th edition one, I think.
This one?
Or it looks like it, at least.
I don't know. I found this at my hobby shop, so I picked it up. Then
I'm looking at the 4th edition right now, and that looks like the same cover.
It could be. Then, for those of you who want to play more of a sci-fi based ones, I picked this up the other day. The Starfinder starter box. It might be reversed on the camera, but
yeah,
it actually seems pretty fun. I've yet to play but
do all these tabletop role-playing games come with like a starter set? Like you'll get like the dice and the character sheets and stuff like that?
A lot of them do. Some of them don't. Mostly the smaller ones don't.
Yeah.
But it gives you... What's really good about the Starfinder one is it gives you a light copy of the Player's Handbook and a light copy of the Game Master Guide.
Yeah.
So you can legit play... All you need to play, potentially forever, depending on your character, is the starter box for that game. I haven't played the Warhammer game, but it seems pretty complex. There's stuff I want. There's plenty of other games that I don't own. There's stuff like Zweihander, which is apparently like super deadly, high fantasy. Warhammer's Dark Fantasy, which is actually really fun. Call of Cthulhu is... I think it takes place in modern day. I haven't played it, so I'm not 100%.
It says 1920s or something to like 1980s, so kind of close to now.
Yeah. So like, No, I think that's post World, or it's pre World War II. So around that time.
Yeah.
But so those are the role playing games I own.
I own none.
Yeah, but you're also getting this is your first time diving into
Yeah.
tabletop role playing games. So
True that. True that. They're pretty fun though. I definitely try to get into some more.
yep.
I just think the only reason I never got into them more is I guess it would be like my friend groups growing
Yeah.
up. Because all my buddies wanted to play sports
Mhm.
or just play video games like Call of Duty growing up. So I never really got into like the tabletop. We'd all go somebody's house and play a game for a couple hours all together.
Yep.
We'd sit at our own homes and play League or play Call of Duty together on voice calls.
I had the exact same experience for the most part. Like, it was in my neighborhood. We would all go to someone's house, and we'd just play Call of Duty, Modern Warfare 2, or World at War on the whoever's PS3. But I didn't have a PS3 at the time, so at my house it was James Bond GoldenEye or
Oh, I love that
Nightfire
game.
on
I
the
love that
Nintendo
game.
64. We would just play that nonstop for hours. But yeah, I didn't actually get into tabletop role-playing games until late high school.
It's not bad. I guess I'm in college, so it took me a while.
Yeah.
But
But
I was thinking just a little bit ago, because we brought up
Mhm.
our past games to play. Do you think like with technology, I guess tabletop role playing games will like switch in a way? Like this would be like with VR and AR and stuff.
okay.
Or like what those are like in a way role playing games. Since you become a character and choose your story you go on in a way. If they were to create
So
those
like
in the future.
traditional like video game RPGs.
Yeah, but like you get to be the character and you get to control how the story goes instead of having like a campaign in Call of Duty where you have to do these certain
Yeah.
things to get to the end. Like, you create your own
It's definitely a
story.
possibility,
Yeah.
but there's like I think that would more lead you into like video game RPGs.
You think so? Not like a role playing game through VR somehow.
It's possible, but the amount of work that the DM or GM would have to do to set
Yeah.
everything up
That's true.
is a
I don't really know a way to
lot.
connect it as easily as you
Well,
can here.
I've seen and watched games like role playing games played in Minecraft.
Yeah. That's pretty interesting.
Mhm.
I was just thinking it because like it'd be cool to like one day have a VR game where it's Pokemon and you just get to be Ash or
Mhm.
whoever the main character is of the game and actually
be fun.
go through yourself and walk around the map yourself, catch whatever you want the same way. Because in a way you are being that character, but you to create your story
Mhm.
and how you want to go through
Yeah,
the
that,
region.
that would be fun.
Or another game I used to love as a kid was Chaotic.
Oh my dude, I played that.
Can you imagine
Oh
how sick that'd be with
God.
VR? So you're just chilling, you go
Yep.
capture a monster with your card, then you scan it or whatever,
Mhm.
and then go to the arena and put your card in. You
Like,
can
that was-
have all the maps.
Basically the show.
That was I'd wake up every morning for school. I think 8 o'clock was Chaotic and 8:30 was Pokemon. I would show up late for school because my school started like 9:15. It was a 10-minute walk. I'd get ready, watch both those shows, go to school every morning. Best thing in the world.
Chaotic was the first trading card game I got into,
Same.
and I remember, because I would actually spend money on cards.
Same. I actually sold cards when I was like 10. It
So
was so cool.
I don't remember the monster or the attack I had, but I could reliably, with that attack, just one-shot anything my friends had.
Oh yeah.
So
There's one where you have a monster, but you need to have another one in your deck or in your hand or something like that. To actually give the accuracy, you have to hit it. There's one of those cards I know.
I remember playing the Lizard People.
Yeah.
So
I just missed that game. I haven't really seen much. I might go try to find online and rewatch it or something. I don't know. So like they kept remaking Pokemon. They should just keep remaking that.
Well, what happened with that show is the creator sold the rights, and the
Yeah.
show didn't do good. So instead of, and the creator wanted the rights back, I believe, but the
Probably.
company didn't sell it to him, so they just canceled the show. And the guy couldn't do anything because he didn't have the rights to it anymore.
No, you need the rights, man.
So
You could wait the what would it have been, 50 or 20 years?
at that point, like, the game's gonna be dead, more dead than it is now. But
Yeah, I still think about it, but I'm sure there's other people think about it. But
anyways,
kids are more concerned about different things now,
for
like TikTok.
yeah, well, think about it, like the current like up and coming generations, we're more focused on social media
Yeah,
platforms. Like, I think, in my opinion, we're like the last generation that's not entirely revolved around social media.
our phones and technology.
Yeah, like,
Yeah, like when did you get your first cell phone?
oh, jeez, got it. Okay, cell phone or just like a mobile device?
Let's say cell phone. Let's do both. Let's do both.
Cell phone was when I started working, which was like grade 12.
Yeah, I got mine grade 10.
And then for like grade 10, I had an iPod that I downloaded a phone app,
Yeah.
and that was a cell phone.
I had an iPad in grade 8, and I played Clash of Clans on it. But like nowadays, my little cousin,
Mhm.
she's grade what, 6, 7? People in her class have cell phones already.
Yep.
And they're all like on all the social media apps. I'm like, why? Like, this makes no sense. Just go live your life. Go outside and play with your friends. Don't just sit there on your phone watching TikToks and
Well, here's the
posting
thing.
on social
like,
medias. I don't understand it, but we're just
for
older.
me, at least me personally, like with okay, let me think of what I want to say here. Like, I used D&D and role-playing games as a sort of like mental escape from reality. Because when I first got into it, I was working a job I hated. Like, and just like relationships weren't going good
Yeah.
and whatnot. And like D&D was like my one time of the week where I just got to forget about it.
Forget about it, yeah.
So, and like modern day, like that's social media.
Oh yeah.
That's TikToks, whatnot.
Yeah.
But now with like online playing, it's a lot different because it's super easy just to alt tab or open up a new tab and have social media right there.
Yeah. That's just technology advancing, though. Crazy how, like, we're in like the perfect age group or whatever. Are we millennials or whatever?
Yeah.
Whatever we are. Where like we gotta see everything develop and then even develop past us
Yeah.
in a way.
Well, like
Now we're too old for it.
because we experienced pre-social media
Yeah.
and well, current day, but there's plenty of like we got to see the differences.
Yeah.
Not.
I don't know, life's just changed a lot.
Mhm.
And it's with COVID it even changed a lot more. Where like everything got changed or adapted to online and like, even jobs out there, a bunch of things, school for us.
Yeah.
Everything is adapting quick because the world's changing so much and it's
Mhm.
crazy, I find.
Yeah, it's
Pandemic ruined a lot of things and also created new things for people to look forward to.
well, for me, like the way I see it, pandemic, it forced a lot of people to change their ways.
Oh yeah.
And then now that we're sort of approaching the tail end of it,
Well, we don't know when it's ending, man.
I mean, vaccines are coming out, so
Yeah, that'll change it a bit. Yeah.
yeah. But like, people are really excited to sort of get back into
Get back out there.
like, I'm super excited to go back to my hobby shop, play games of Warhammer, play D&D, whatnot.
Yeah. I just want to go back on an ice rink. It's like no ice anywhere. Too expensive to rent if there is.
Yeah.
Ah.
So, anyways, I think should go through. I brought a lot of stuff out of storage and we can go through that and go over like different options for either role-playing games, tabletop wargaming.
Yeah.
Just sort of like an introductory to show people the options of the hobby.
Yeah, and there's more than D&D out there,
Like,
you know.
For me, D&D led to my hobby of tabletop wargaming, miniature painting. If I could find where I put it. Like,
Miniature painting seems fun.
miniature painting's super relaxing.
I'm not that artistic, so I'd be terrible at it, but...
No, it's really not that bad. It's not... that's not what I should say. It's not as... like, you do have a lot of freedom to create what you want, but it's not like you don't have to be artistic to do it. Most of most of the boxes that you get the miniatures in, they have like instructions on the back of how they paint it, and for the most part, it's coloring in the lines, but it's 3D. Like, you can paint a full army that will look great just by doing a base color and putting a wash over it.
It's like paint by colors.
Yeah.
Pretty cool.
But anyways, so the first thing
Let's pop one open.
It's not actually a role-playing or wargaming thing. It's League of Legends lore book. So lore books, art books are really good for inspiration. Like, I have a Zelda war book, or lore book. I have King Arthur lore book. I have various Celtic, Roman, Greek mythology books. I have 3 separate Dark Souls art books. And like a bunch of fantasy art books, map art books, historical books of like medieval castles, all for inspiration. I have Warhammer Fantasy, which is pretty much a dead game at this point. I have the Dark Elf book for them, the army I played. But with this book, I could probably run games in Runeterra. I haven't read it yet, but it's possible.
Oh, like if you wanted to do a tabletop game.
I wanted to do like a D&D game in League of Legends world.
And like, would we actually use League of Legends characters, or would we use like rogues and stuff like that, but in that world?
I think the way I would do it is the champions exist, but you don't play the champions, and it's sort of your character's story to becoming a champion.
Oh.
Which I think is the best way to do it.
That'd be pretty cool. I would play that, actually.
Yeah. I would definitely want to run that. It's just I don't know enough about the lore to run it properly.
No, you gotta read that book.
Next. This is a Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition adventure module. This one's of the Elemental Evil series, Princes of the Apocalypse. This is your full campaign. It's a pre-written adventure. It takes you from levels 1 to 15, which is actually pretty late game. I have yet to run it. I've read the first few chapters of it, and it seems pretty fun to run. But I think there's like 10 of these so far. Each are a different campaign story. They all fall under different categories. Like this one's elemental evil. There's like Court of the Dragon Queen, Temple of the Mad Mage. It's all actually very fun. Different stories that if you're a new DM, this is something you want to look into.
Because that will help you out, kind of understand where the directions are going.
This will give you everything you need to run the game. And you don't have to make up a story. It's all in here.
Oh.
I'm going to skip that one for now.
Like making stories the fun part.
For me,
keeps
it is.
Keeps your players on their toes in a way.
For me, it is. So here I have 2 books. This one's for character backstory, so if you're a player, this can help you write a character backstory. It's good character story material and guidelines. Do you need this? No. But as a player, this can help your DM immensely.
Yeah.
Then, this is one for the DM this is the gameplay guide, and this just helps you run a better game.
Better quality, so people come back every week wanting to play more.
Honestly,
I like it.
If you just have a compelling story, or even just a fun game, they come back.
Yeah, that's what you want. You're like marketing yourself in a way when you're the DM.
Mm-hmm. Like, from my experience, if you have, let's say, a 4 out of 10 story, and you run a 4 out of 10 game, they come back. Obviously, they may not be excited, they might enjoy it, they might not be super hyped, but if you, as if you were running a 9 out of 10. This book is just a bunch of random encounters that you can take for inspiration, tweak, run straight out of the book. Very helpful.
It's exciting.
These are 2 books from Kobold Press that just have a bunch of monsters. It's the Creatures Codex and the Tome of Beasts.
Also, those books, you would read through them.
These
and if you want,
just have more. These just have a bunch of homebrew monsters.
Yeah, so say in our adventures every Sunday or whatever, we would run into one of those from that book potentially. You would say, if you wanted to, of course,
if
you're
I
the
wanted
DM,
to put it
but
in, yes,
you could, and that's where you get your inspiration from, or I guess the character from itself.
So many options in here. I've actually ran quite a few from here before.
Oh, really?
I did one game where it was a underwater dungeon, and the players got to this this room that was just a bunch of bones on the ground, on some slightly submerged in water. It was knee-high water. And that is what they fought. They fought a bunch of those. It's
a shark skeleton thing?
It's just a skeleton made out of shark jaws.
What?
Yeah. It's hilarious. Okay. Those are pretty much... I do own way more D&D books than that, trust me. I'm thinking I'm only missing the last 2. I have 2 copies of the Monsters Manual, 2 copies of the Dungeon Master's Guide, 3 copies of the Player's Handbook.
That's a lot of money.
Yep.
But you're happy about it. I've probably bought a lot of hockey sticks that cost about $5,000 in total. I like it. It's worth it.
Oh,
But you gotta keep your stuff. I lost all mine.
And that's like all the RPG stuff I own. However, there is other like narrative games you can play.
Yeah.
That can be more competitive, whatnot. So I'm gonna start with the two big ones, which is Warhammer Age of Sigmar.
Warhammer.
So this is, you can kind of see on the back there, that's a bunch of miniatures. And you essentially have like anywhere from 4 to about 200 miniatures. And you have a big war battle. So tabletop war gaming. This goes...
Wait. 200?
Yeah.
And who's controlling these 200 people?
The player. So it's...
One player?
Let's say we're playing.
Okay.
Depending on our army, we'll have a different amount of models. Each
Okay.
model is in a unit, and the units move together. So let's say you're playing an elf army. You might have a unit, 3 units of 20 elven spearmen,
Okay.
for example. And then you have like heroes and whatnot. There is... And like this leans a little bit more to the competitive side than Dungeons and Dragons. However, you can easily run this as narrative game, where you have your player and then the game master, who will tell the story, and all the games are the battles that will take place. So instead of telling the story of 1 or 2 characters, you're telling the story of this whole faction.
That's interesting.
So those are the Starfinder books. Forgot to took those out. So this one is more fantasy. And then there's 40K, which is the sci-fi.
It's pretty cool face of the book, or like the front cover.
Yeah. And like, look at that. That's probably twice as thick as the D&D books. And this is just like lore, rules, and whatnot. However, if you aren't willing to drop about $700 on an army that you still have to build, paint, and learn to play... Oh yeah, no, it's expensive. I have 5 armies right now?
700 each?
No.
Okay.
Like...
I was like, oh my gosh.
I think 2 of them are like 300 total. And then the other 2 are closer to 600 right now.
It's not bad.
No. But if you just want to buy like a box of models, there's Warcry and Kill Team. So, sci-fi, fantasy. And these...
Got a lot of books. Love it.
Okay, you have no clue. Like, this is not even a 6 of my book collection for these. Yeah, it's crazy.
Damn, boy.
Like, each of those 5 armies has their own rule book that they come with. And I have, and throughout the game, new books come out and replace the old ones. So I have like multiple different editions. But those tell the story of, instead of a full army or 5 characters, they tell the story of a unit. So let's say, well, basically, 5 characters, we could say. But it's not so much a role-playing thing. It's more of a war gaming thing, but you can still tell a story.
Yeah.
Anyways, those are the games I own. I've played some of them. I have yet to play an actual game of 40k because I got into it during the pandemic. Same with Kill Team. I just bought the Starfinder book, which I haven't got to play, and the Warhammer Fantasy role-playing game I haven't played yet. But those are like some examples of other alternatives to tabletop gaming, either if it's role-playing or wargaming, to then D&D, even though D&D is the big one.
Yeah.
So
I'm looking at Amazon right now because I'm really intrigued by all this.
mm-hmm.
I don't know if this is like, let's see, it's called a fantasy miniature accessory pawns for tabletop role-playing RPG. Okay, so this game's called Meeples of Might.
Okay.
And it gives you all these tiny little figurines, a board game and stuff. It's so cool. It's only $22. I don't know if you heard of it.
I have not. Link it to me.
There's Meeples of Menace as well. But like this is like little like weird cutouts of everything, but still.
Well, the
pretty similar.
Starfinder box comes with cutout miniatures.
Yeah, you don't like paint it. It's already painted and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But it looks pretty cool.
Yeah,
like you can even get into this pretty cheap.
Meeples
for like anybody that doesn't want to pay all that huge amount. Like there's a Star Wars one for like $90, but
okay, so this is just miniature. Oh, it's blocks of wood or resin.
Yeah.
That are roughly shaped towards the miniatures, and then you put stickers on them.
Yeah, and then you like kind of still do like I'd say like a D&D story through it,
Yeah.
or like it's role playing.
You can easily use those as
it's just a fun little small you do with your friends if you ever want to try
miniatures.
it. Star Wars one was pretty interesting. I was always pretty interested in Star Wars, so that'd be pretty cool. I didn't know how much of these like role playing games there are.
Oh no, there's.
I always thought like there was like D&D.
Countless.
That's it.
Well, that's what a lot of people think, but there's.
That's what I thought.
Like
crazy.
There's so many. Like I said, Pathfinder. There's Starfinder. There's the Warhammer one. There's a game called Zweihander, Call of Cthulhu. There's a My Little Pony game. There's so many games. So
there's so many.
If you're interested in the idea of tabletop role-playing games, but you don't like the way 5th or D&D plays, you can easily find one that you like. Like there's ones that instead of using dice, use cards.
Yeah, there's a Fallout one.
Yep, there's a Fallout one. There is a Pokemon one that's not official, but it's a lot.
Yes.
But D&D is the biggest, followed by
Pathfinder. Definitely is.
Yeah.
Well, D&D connects to World of Warcraft, right, or something like that, in a way.
Not really.
No. Okay.
There's like
World of Warcraft connects to something.
Lore-wise, no. World of Warcraft, like inspiration-wise,
it connects to like Hearthstone and stuff. That's what I'm thinking about.
So, okay, well, so D&D came out, and like that inspired the like Lord of the Rings,
the fantasy kind of things.
Yeah, and like you can really trace a bunch of inspirations to Lord of the Rings, to D&D.
Yeah.
Like, D&D, so Lord of the Rings was inspired by D&D, and then the later editions of D&D were inspired by Lord of the Rings.
That's weird.
So you can see how like you can always find like the transitions into things like World of Warcraft.
Yeah.
Probably took inspiration from D&D.
Maybe a bit, yeah.
Like
because like some of the classes in World of Warcraft or even in Hearthstone are the same classes as they are in D&D. Like there's Rogue,
Yeah.
whatever there is, Barbarian, all of them. Not all of them, but there's some close that are the same.
There's a lot of them.
Just pretty interesting. That's why that's why I thought it was connected, because the same
Yeah.
roles or classes are the same.
But it's a good mix.
Yeah.
And like it leads to many different hobbies. Like I said before, like for me, D&D led to wargaming, which led to miniature painting.
Yeah.
For me, which fed back into D&D.
Oh, I'm overall, I'm happy I joined this. And got to, I guess, try something new. Because I don't think I would ever try it in my lifetime. But I'm happy I try it. So at least, like, in the future, if I'm like, hey, you guys want to do something to my other buddies or whoever I'm hanging out with in the future, be like, hey, you guys want to try something?
Well,
and then we'll try D&D, try running board games.
For me, was I wanted to play it, but no one I knew played it.
Yeah.
So I asked my group of friends who they enjoyed it, but they weren't super into it. So then I sought out public games. So playing at the local hobby shop and whatnot.
Yeah.
And now it's with shows like Stranger Things.
That's pretty cool.
Which I do have so D&D put out a Stranger Things box that came with an adventure.
Did you get it?
I did.
Oh, look at that.
But this hobby leads you down a lot of paths.
Expensive path.
Oh, yeah. As I peer into my 2 cupboards filled with miniatures and terrain, and 3, like all 5 armies, or 4 of my finished armies. I'm working on the 5th right now. Are in there for Age of Sigmar. Then I have 2 smaller armies for 40k, and a bunch of small war bands for Warcry.
Are you just gonna keep all that stuff throughout your lifetime, you think?
I'm thinking about selling 2 of them right now, like 2 of the full armies.
Yeah.
Because I'm, 1, not happy with how I painted them, and I don't want to repaint them. 2, I don't actually play the army. So there's no point in me actually keeping it right now.
Yeah.
But
How much would you sell it for?
would sell that one for probably 300.
The whole army?
The whole army with the book. It's fully,
It's already finished. It's already painted as
fully
well.
painted. I did one. Basically, it was a bunch of dwarves that I painted as ghosts. So I used it's basically just sprayed it white with spray paint, and then I put washes over it, so it'll come off pretty easy. If people were to use a stripping medium over it and strip the models.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's not a lot of paint, so no details really would be clogged.
No. That's pretty cool. I didn't think it'd be selling for that much, actually, but that's...
Well, it's...
Well, I guess if you that's something you enjoy doing,
Mm-hmm.
you'd pay that much for it.
Yeah, I really enjoy playing. Like, I have yet to have a bad game
Yeah.
of Warhammer. Even though, like, there's games when I get destroyed. Like, I don't kill a single thing. It's still fun.
Yeah.
Probably the worst experience I had was playing against a guy who cheated. But I crushed him anyways.
How do you cheat?
Well, there's, like, I think there's, like, 20-something armies, which you don't know all the rules to. So, the other guy was just making up numbers half the time.
Oh, that's how you. Okay, that makes sense.
but I still beat him.
Why not? You're just
Playing
better,
at
superior
the
player.
time, I was playing my B tier, like it was a D tier army. He was playing an A tier army. I just crushed him.
Oh, like in the meta, or like.
Mhm.
Oh,
It was in a tournament, so makes sense.
yeah.
Yeah, but I think that's all we have to really talk about today.
Yeah, I think so as well. It was pretty good. I feel like
Mhm.
board games they should come back up in the world. Honestly,
They have been.
oh, that's what I was meaning.
However, I really do think people should try to get into the tabletop gaming hobby more. Not
Oh
necessarily D&D, Warhammer, tabletop RPGs, or wargaming, just board games in general. Like, there's countless fun ones. Like,
yeah. Mhm.
you can spend anywhere from like $20, get a good game.
Yeah,
Have
like
a-
that one I sent you, the Mighty Menace or whatever.
Mhm. Well, that one in particular was a miniature replacement,
True, but like
but
something like that.
like I spent $20 on a game called Here to Slay, and it's like a quick 20-minute game. You can easily play 5 games in a row in one sitting.
It's also something fun to do with your friends.
Yeah.
Like, say you want to go rent a cabin somewhere, or bring a game, bring that game, play it one night, drink to it. I don't know.
Yeah,
Be fun.
Because when people say board games, the first thing that comes to mind is Monopoly.
Yep.
Which is not really a good game in the scheme of things. If you're not winning, you're not having fun. And it's
True.
all luck, anyways.
Uh,
There's some
Yeah.
bit of strategy.
There's some
but
skill, like when to buy and stuff,
It's
when to develop further, but
yeah, but it's all like one player has fun, which that game was made to show how having a monopoly, well, good for one person is bad for everyone else, which that game does really well.
yeah.
But there's stuff like Catan, which is really fun.
Love that game.
So much fun.
What is it? It's what's it like? Trade, settle, and build or something.
Yeah. The way
That's a good
that
thing.
my household plays is we don't allow trading.
Really?
Yeah. Because
That makes sense, actually.
it's just everyone asks to trade all the time. But that also
That makes sense.
that does like change the game drastically.
Well, yeah, because then you can just get what you need, give them what they need, then they'll get
Mhm.
the roads built or the houses
Well,
built, I think,
the
or
way
whatever.
by not allowing trading, the way it changes the game is you're more inclined to block other people, which is frustrating at some
Yeah.
points. But like, there is so many fun games that no one has heard of. A game I actually really recommend to people is Elysium. It's it's themed after Greek gods, but you basically have 4 colored towers. So you have red, green, blue, and yellow,
Hmm.
and you have to spend those to buy cards. And cards have different effects, which you can combo with each other, and you build points that way. It's a good 40 to 50-minute game.
Yeah.
But there's stuff like Betrayal on House on the Hill, which it's a super fun game.
Yeah.
There's stuff like Pandemic, which is a co-op game. Like, there's so many good games out there. All you need to do is look and be willing to try.
Nice.
Okay, well, I think that's what we'll wrap it up for tonight.
Sounds good, man.
Good rambly game on Rambly Show, but that's
Yeah,
fine.
just a nice little talk.
Yep. Okay.
Sure, if there's more people joining us tonight, it'd be a bit more bouncing back and forth, but
But
how are we talking to you? It's fine.
Yep.
Seeing your face, it's all good.
see this glorious beard.
Yes. Clean mine up today because it looked terrible. We're doing good.
Mm-hmm. Mine
Still
looks
better than
terrible.
Andre's.
I mean,
Mine's
yeah.
better than Andre's. That's all that matters. Yeah.
Yeah, you just shaved and it's already better than Andre's.
Yep. He can't even grow any, so it's fine.
We roast that kid so much. Anyways,
We have to.
Thank you all for coming out. We will see you on Sunday where we continue
Our journey.
the campaign. So take care.
Yes.